Good afternoon to everyone. Welcome to the Digital Open Day of Master MIBS. My name is Claudio from Unismart, Fondazione Università degli Studi di Padova, and I thank you for being here in the Open Day of MIBS, Master in International Business for Small and Medium Enterprises. The Open Day takes place as part of the annual event, Digital Open Week. Before giving the floor to the Deputy Director, Professor Andrea Ganzaroli, I kindly ask you to keep your microphones off during the speeches for the smooth running of the Open Day. I also invite you to note any questions or requests for further information in the Zoom chat below, so that I may address them during the Q&A session at the end of the Open Day. Otherwise, in the final session, you will also have the opportunity to ask your questions directly to the speakers. I would also like to inform you that the Open Day is being recorded and will later be made available on the official MIBS website. So we can now start with the Open Day. I will now hand the floor to Professor Ganzaroli, Deputy Director of the Master MIBS. Enjoy the presentation, and thank you again for being here.
Thank you. Thank you, Claudio, for the presentation, and welcome to everybody for being here. Welcome, and so the goal of this presentation, as you will see, is to introduce this master, which is a master that we are managing from many years, and an extremely successful master, as Elisa will show later on with the slides. And the reason why we started to develop, develop this master, to propose this master, especially at the University of Padua, is that we were aiming to provide the small medium companies, which are the most common company, the most diffuse company in this area, with providing them with expertise, competencies in the area of export management and international management. As you can see from here, the data tell us that the export, the Italian export, is still growing, and there are. This implies, as we believe at least, that these are giving us a lot of opportunities, especially for you, that once you get the opportunity, then your degree in Master in International Management, you might offer your competencies to this kind of company. As you, I don't know to what extent you know small and medium company, especially here in Italy, but what is one of the main problems this company are facing is that even if they export large percentage of their products, those companies do not control the distribution channel. So basically, they rely on external supplier of services related to exports to enter this market. And so this implies that they do not control the process, they do not control the chain, and this have many impacts, especially in terms of profitability for this company. So even if we have a company with a large percentage of their products exported, those is not necessarily, or actually this company are not generating as much profit as they could. So the other things that we are that is specific about this master is the fact that we are dealing with digital technology. So the point here is that in a world that is digitalized and globalized, it's not sufficient to know about only export management, but it still is becoming every day more important to know about digital technology and how you can exploit digital technology to internationalize small and medium enterprises. And so the goal of this master is not only to provide you with all the know-how required to become an export manager or in a small and medium company, but we are providing with all the know-how required to manage the digital presence of a small and medium enterprise in international and globalized market. So I think that this is participating to this and enrolling in this master is a great opportunity, and is going to give a great opportunity, as you will know from you will learn from Lisa. Most of our students found very interesting jobs, and they had a great opportunity after the attending and participating and getting the degree at our master. They had the opportunity to work for very interesting company and make a very interesting career, a very significant career. And you will have if you decide to enroll in our master, the opportunity to meet some of them, and they will tell you their story and their experience, both with the master and after the master, what they have done later on. So as you can see from here, the aim of the master is to build a professional profile that integrate the two competencies, so internationalization. So you will learn how you should manage international markets, how to be competitive in the international market, and so on. But I think that the peculiarity of our master is associated with the digitalization and digital marketing part. So I think the combination make our master is very interesting and very different from other masters that are available on the topic of internationalization in general. So I give the floor to Elisa, that will tell you everything about. She is our coordinator. She knows all about this master. She has been here from the very beginning. She knows all the people that have participated to our master. So she can tell you a lot more about this master. So, and when she will finish the rest of the presentation, then you will have the opportunity to ask questions, and we will be more than happy to reply to your question and tell you everything about this master that you might not find in the presentation. Please, Elisa.
Okay, thank you very much. So I am Elisa. I'm the master student tutor. So let's start from our numbers. So we have completed successfully 9th edition since 2014. So this one, the coming one, will be the 10th edition. So it means that the master worked and is still working well with all the students we had. For what concerns the student, we had more than 180 students who have successfully graduated, and the majority of them gain the benefits from participating in this master, working, speaking, of course. The hours of training are 320, so it means that you will be following 320 hours led by national and international professors. Not only professors, we also have industry marketing professionals. We are very, very proud of the fact that we can have international professors. As you may know, this is an international master's. So not only the students are coming from different parts of the world, but also professors. As you have seen maybe a little bit before in the picture, in that case, that year we had a host that was Professor Tamane Ozeki from Japan. And she was leading an innovation class. So a very international environment. 60 are the recognized university credits. So once you graduate, you will receive 60 university credits. For what concerns the fees, as you may know, the fees are 6,000 euros. So practically, when this master will start? It will start in November 22, and lessons are held starting from the end of November till the end of May. Every weekend from Friday and Saturday from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. you will have 1 hour of lunch break plus a couple of coffee breaks during the week. This is a question that I have always, every year, a lot of students ask me this. Can I participate only in presence or online? The master will remain blended, so you can participate in presence or online. You can decide to participate always online. However, our suggestion is that of coming in person when you can, just because you're, let's say, you breathe the environment, so you can join conversations with your classmates and with your professors. Of course, all the materials will be provided by us, so slides and lessons will be made available in the Moodle page, and also the recordings. Every lesson will be recorded, so if you miss something, you just go and re-watch it again. The attendance, the 70% is mandatory. So even if you are working, you may have some absences. I know that some of you are working, so maybe some Fridays will be skipped. So the 70% of the attendance is compulsory. The venue, of course, is the Department of Economics and Management. But let's not talk only about practicalities, but also about the program. So as Professor Ganzaroli mentioned before, this master merged two different fields. One is the field of internationalization and the one of digitalization, more specifically digital marketing. So the first part of the master will be more, let's say, theoretical. You will have lessons about strategy and business plan, international business, international payments and contracts, accounting, sustainability, and innovation management. And this will be the part, let's say, more theoretical. Does it mean that it is like you have to study like during your master's degree? No, it isn't. These parts are more theoretical, but you will have also some practical activities to prepare, both in group and individually. Once the first part is over, you will skip to the digital part, and you will have international marketing, web communication and digital media marketing, web and e-commerce design, web and data analytics. The majority of this part here is held by professionals, while the other part is held both by professionals and academics. The number of modules of this master is 10, as you may have seen. And usually, at the end of every module or during the module, you will be graded. Does it mean that you will have a very difficult exam? No, of course. You will prepare group presentations. You will prepare some little papers that the professor will evaluate. So it is not like going to a master degree, but it is more practical. So you will be given some case studies to analyze, and then you will provide to the class a group presentation, some reflections, or like, for example, you will provide with the professor in that case, but your client with some internationalization strategies and so on. So at the end of every module, you will have these evaluation activities, let's say. After the lessons are over, so I said before that lessons will be held from the end of November 22, until the end of May. As you may have seen, if you have read online, the master also recommends the internship. So the internship is a period that you spend in a firm, and this period has to be at least 500 hours long, more or less 3 months. Of course, if you are already working and you don't want to change the firm, your internship will be, your working hours will be recognized as an internship. So you are not required to have the internship. So the internship is highly recommended by the master office staff. Why? Because this allows you to enter in the job market and have some experience. We had the students, in our experience, 98% of the students are allocated in an internship or they work. So it means that it is very, very useful for students, especially because the majority of students after the internship are hired. So this is something we are very proud of. What is important about the internship? The master office help the student with all the practical stuff, papers, documents, and so on. However, it is important that the student has to be proactive. What does it mean? It means that the internship first is not mandatory. So it is not compulsory to go ahead with an internship. Second, it means that the student has to find, the student is very involved in finding the internship. Why? Because we think, and we have seen in our experience, that when the student directly contacts the firm is more prone to hire the student. We give the student some suggestion on how to contact the firm, how to build the CV, how to go ahead with the interviews. And so with our suggestions and the proactivity of the students, we have seen that this is a successful, let's say, collaboration. So you are not left alone, of course. Also, the master students are provided with some opportunities that come from our office. So every now and then we are contacted by firms or we look for firms. So we are also giving you some opportunities. However, sometimes a student has some specific desires. So in that case, the student has to be very proactive. In other cases, we have students that are currently hired thanks to the opportunities that the master office received in the past. And also, the master office will provide you with all the documentations, insurance, safety courses, and so on. So it is, again, a good collaboration. After the 3 months of internship, you are required to write the final project work. So in order to obtain your final diploma, you need to prepare a project work. How does this final project work work? It depends on the fact that you did the internship or if you haven't done the internship. So if you are working or you did the internship, you have a smaller project work that is around 60 pages. And this final project work is structured as first chapter, you have the theoretical part. The second one, the description of the firm. The third chapter is your internship or work experience. Contrary, if you haven't done the internship, you are required to produce a longer project work because you didn't spend time working or in internship. Of course, every student has to choose a supervisor, so you are not alone again, and the supervisor has to be one of the master's professors. So you will have maybe 20 professors, so you can choose among them. After you have produced the final project work, in October, you will discuss your project. It will be a 15-minute discussion in front of a 3-people commission. And this is compulsory because this gives you the possibility to obtain the final diploma. Starting from last year, we have also issue to people that obtain the final diploma the open badge. What is the open badge? The open badge is an online certification that states that you have successfully concluded your master. So it is not something you can invent because every student has his own personal code and his own personal online badge. So you will receive a final diploma that is completely identical to the degree one that is issued by the university, plus another online diploma that is issued again by the recognized by the university. So this is the part of how the master is constructed. So you have 6 months of lessons. Lessons are held during weekends. After the selection phase, after the lesson phase, you are required to finish your internship and then build your final project work. And this is what happens during 1 year of master, basically. And that's it. For what concerns the selection phase, usually we have an average of 25 people every year. And this allows us to follow every student properly. Also because professors will give you some very specific suggestions during your presentation, during your project. So the classes are quite small, I would say. However, the master will start from a minimum of 15 students to a maximum of 40. The minimum requirements are bachelor's degree obtained before the beginning of the lessons. So it means that you can obtain your bachelor's degree until the 21st of November, and a good knowledge of English. The certificate is not required, a formal one. However, my suggestion is to add the certificate if you have some certificates, some languages certificates, because this one will give you extra point in the selection phase. So my suggestion is to upload the document if you have some certifications. Of course, some other requirements that are not compulsory. It is to have some sort of experience that could be managerial experience, entrepreneurial experience, but also since this master is open to all levels, you can also have no experience. So this doesn't have to stop you from applying. In the 9 years that we have already finished, we have like very different classes. So we have some people that are working, some other people that would like to start or are starting their entrepreneurial activities, and some students. So the classes are quite mixed. And also for what concerns the fields, your background is not important. During the years, we had some people coming from languages, political sciences, mathematics, economics and management, engineering. So the classes are very mixed. But this I consider this something very positive, because at the end, every time I see the projects they present with other students, you can see that there are different backgrounds that are complementary to each other. So it is seen in a positive way, diversity. So I'm going to almost the conclusions. So I would just like to remind you that the deadline is fixed for the 8th of October. And you are required to upload through a platform all the documents you have, bachelor's or master's degree, whatever you have, curriculum, personal document like ID cards or passport, and some other certificates that you may have. After the pre-enrollment is closed, so after the 8th of November, a commission is made by professors, will evaluate your CV and your documents, and will publish the ranking the 17th of October. The final enrollment will be the 29th of October, so that you will have some months, some weeks, sorry, to prepare for the starting day, that is the 22nd of November. The pre-enrollment procedure is through PICA, that is an Italian platform, and I will leave you here some useful information in case you will need. I also know that you will receive the slides, so you have all the links, the useful links for you. If you have doubts, you are, of course, very welcome to raise your hand now and ask some questions. And I will give you here some contacts. Professor Denoni is the director. Professor Ganzaroli, that is here, is the vice director. If you call the office, I will reply. And also here I will leave you my cell phone, so that you can send me a message, or you can just call me, and I will reply. So from my side, it is all. If you have any questions or doubts, please feel free to ask.
Thank you, Elisa. This is our Q&A time, so I will read all the questions we got in the Zoom chat, starting from the first one. So the first one is by Alberto. The lessons are held at Via Bassi 1, Padova?
Yes, they are held at the department, usually 4th or 3rd floor. Yes, the department. An important thing to mention is that with this slide, with the enrollment, you will have access not only to the master and the department buildings, but you will also have access to the canteen with a little discounted price. And also, if you are interested, you can also participate to language courses at the CLA. CLA is the linguistic laboratory of the university. That is very close by our building. So I think it is like 5 minutes walk. So yes, the courses are held there at the department. That for those of you who don't know where this department is, it is 15 minutes walk from the train station. Otherwise, there are some parking around nearby, and there is no restriction zone, anything. It is near the city center, but not in the city center.
Thank you, Lisa. So I just keep reading. The second one is internship is the stage.
Yes,
I would say
exactly.
so. Yeah, okay.
Yes, it is. I don't know if you have some specific questions about the fact. I mean, yes, the internship is a period of stage that has to be at least 3 months long. What we see is that usually firms ask students to for a 6-month stage internship, especially firms that have the intention of hiring. Usually they start with a 6-month-long internship. Maybe they will renew it another time, and then they hire this person. Just to mention you some firms that have hosted some students. So just to be clear, so in our history, students have been allocated especially to small and medium enterprises. That is the focus of the master. However, we had some cases of students going to work, like in Geox, OTB, that is the diesel group, and Renzo also diesel group in Vicenza. Stiga, that is a multinational that produces electronic devices for gardening. And the majority of them, small and medium enterprises. Not so small, but let's say small, medium is the majority of the size of firms that hire our students. And also, just to mention you, we have students coming from different parts of Italy. So if you are coming from different part of Italy and you would like to start an internship, of course, you are not required to come to Padova, but you can find an internship also near your house. We had cases of students living in Naples, so they found an internship in Naples. Another student was living near Udine, and she found the internship there. This year we have a student that is from Mantova, and he's doing the internship there. You can also do the internship abroad. This year we have one student that is doing her internship in Germany. So let's say that for geographical boundaries, we don't have geographical boundaries for the internship.
Thank you, Lisa. So we have 2 more questions, which are quite linked. Okay, there are more questions coming. So what are the differences between this master and Master Giurista Internazionale d'Impresa?
If you want,
Okay.
I can answer for you.
Okay, go.
I checked on the web just to make sure that they are basically completely different, in the sense that one, it is more oriented to the legal issues related to internationalization. So, for instance, just to make an example, if we talk about merger and acquisition, if you are attending our master, if we talk about merger and acquisition in a strategic way, so why you should do a merger and acquisition, what are the advantages, what are the disadvantages, and so on. Instead, if you attend the other master, it is more about the legal issues. So how you write a contract, how do you make sure that the collaboration is working in legal terms, and all these kind of things. So, and this is, I think, is linked to the second question. So, the one of Jacopo wants. Our course is not based on law, in the sense that we have no legal course, but few legal course, apart from the one about the export, legal document for
international contracts.
International contracts. Apart from that, it is more based on business. So we talk about business and how company should manage their internationalization, but from a strategic point of view, from a marketing point of view, operational point of view, but with very little legal aspects. So if you are looking for legal, I suggest you to attend the other master. If you are more interested in business, my suggestion is to enroll in our master, which is more in that direction. So more oriented to the managerial issues rather than the legal issues related to internationalization. Sorry if
Okay, thank you, Professor. So let's go with Matthias. How are the exam sessions set? In which period are they supposed to start and end?
Okay, I reply. Andrea, is it okay for you? Okay, so no, we don't have any type of session. So consider that you have lessons only on Fridays and Saturdays. I will give you an example of how the module work. So you will start your module. The professor will explain the lessons, and after the explanation is finished, he will give you something to do. That could be like a group presentation. So we shared the class we divided the class into groups. And during the hours, sometimes they need some extra work, but usually all the presentations are built in class. You will prepare the presentation or the project you are required to prepare. The last year here, we had just 2 exams. The one was a strategy exam, and the other one was the international credits and documentary credits module. They were both 30 minutes long, 10 multiple choices. So they were at the end of the module. In the case the professors organize an exam, from the end of the lessons, you will have 15 days, more or less. So we give you a couple of weeks. For example, if you finish the international contract module the 1st of February, you will have the exam around the 15/20 of February. This to give you some time to revise. So it is not something that is, it is different from the construction of a master degree. It is something more practical, so you don't have to, how can I say, we don't have the session. So every module has his own, let's say, rules. But I would say that everything is concluded during classes. I don't know if Andrea wants to add something, but usually after the theoretical part of the professor, you are given some hours to work with your classmates, and after that you will present in front of the class. So everything is very condensed.
Yeah, it is more typically the class is divided in 2 parts. So you have some theoretical part at the beginning, and then you have some practical tasks to develop. And so the idea is that it's not only just to give you some theory, but it's try to guide you, to lead you to learn how to manage practical issues that you may encounter while you are in a company and working for a company. And actually, this is very helpful also for your internship, just because
Yes.
you know when you get there, you already know how to manage things. So, for instance, when you talk about digital and you are doing some search engine, you have to make a campaign to position a company on Google. You know already how to do it, in the sense that typically you will learn how the platform works, how you should design a campaign, all these kind of things. So the idea is to get to go in very practical. It's not only to give you some theory and so on.
Okay, thank you. Another question, this time from Ricardo. The tax can be paid at the rate, or there are discounts for people with disabilities?
Okay, so discount the taxes, the fees are paid in one single installment at the end of October. For what concerns people with disabilities, I would suggest you to talk in private with me, because according to the different thresholds, you may be entitled to have some discount or not. So this is something that doesn't depend on us, but according to the percentage the student has, you may have a discount. So it is really something personal. So I would suggest you can call me like some next week, and we can discuss. But potentially, yes, there are.
Okay, Elisa, I just copied on the Zoom chat article 11 from the Call of Selection that can help Ricardo in understanding the issue. Okay.
Thank you.
No problem. Suad asks, is 6,000 euros supposed to be the total cost? Does it include VAT or other costs?
No, it is the full cost. An important thing to mention is that it is true that we do not have any type of scholarships or discount, but you can detract the 19% of the cost of the master. When you present your dichiarazione dei redditi, you are entitled to have this detraction.
Okay. A question from Nicolò.
Yes.
Greetings. Which main skills will we acquire? And what kind of role can we reasonably expect to fill once graduated? Lastly, what kind of value does this master retain in foreign settings if one wishes to cultivate a career abroad?
Okay. I start, and then if Andrea wants, he can jump in. So the first one was on skills and roles. Correct? The first question was on skills and roles. Okay. Yes. So I like to talk practically. So in our experience, we had students that entered as junior expert managers. So they started during their internship in participating to exhibitions, both in Italy and abroad. We had students working for the marketing department. One student that is came last year to present the company at the master. He was a student of us. He entered in Stiga as a junior marketing specialist. He then was hired. So he was after a year he was hired, and he worked as a marketing responsible, let's say, for the office. And then he changed the job after 1 year because he was a firm wanted to hire him as a marketing manager. So the career was very, very fast. Some other roles we had some people working in like as digital specialists that started working. Other back office. This also the role depends on the preferences of people, because sometimes we found a student that is available and willing to travel. Some other times we find the student that is not available, so he prefers the back office instead of going to exhibitions and so on. So this is something very, very personal. But yes, these are the roles our students started to work in. I have to be honest, we also had the case of a student that wanted to start his internship as a manager in Tesla, and he couldn't find the internship at all. So be realistic with the expectations, I would say. You can become, as I mentioned the career of our students sometimes are very, very fast, very fast. Another student was a junior expert manager, and after like 3 or 5 years, he was coordinating and organizing the entire South America region. So after 3-5 years, so the career can be very fast, but my suggestion is to start with the correct expectations. This is my suggestion. I don't know if Andrea wants to add something.
I think that what you said is completely correct. So you should start with the right expectation. I think that your expectation can change according to your current position. So basically, if you are a student, don't expect to become a manager tomorrow, because it's not going to happen. The master is not letting you become a manager tomorrow. It is going to be something that takes a few years, but it can speed up your process and your career. We have experience also with people that did the master while they were working. And what they have done, there are different situations. So they had a progress in career, which is so typically if they are working for already in the commercial department and so on. So in this case, they had the progress in career. We have cases of people that changed their job, in the sense that they started from a different role, and then they moved to the marketing department or the selling department or commercial department and so on. So I think that the point is, if you are a student just graduated, don't expect to become a manager tomorrow. And the second thing is it's a great opportunity to change. If you are not happy with your current situation, it's a great opportunity to change your career path, let's say. I would add that we had also a student that opened up her own company.
Yes.
Sophia, she is selling strawberry in Italy, and then she is thinking to export her strawberry abroad. So it's not only, you can also start your own company and start to do your own business. So this is another option. And,
just to mention, Sophia, if I can interrupt you, and also the different backgrounds. So Sophia had a master degree in agricultural fields, and then she needed to acquire some managerial skills. So she had the technicalities, but she didn't have the managerial skills. And if you go and check for Le Fragole di Sofia, she's a student. She was a student of our master. Now the firm is getting bigger and bigger, so she's a very successful case. And also because the firm is growing strawberries with hydroponics, so it's a very innovative firm.
Okay, thank you. Alessia asks, are there any possibilities to do an internship in the United States or only in Europe?
Okay. So there is the possibility. However, due to working visa and so on, in this case, we can help you with documentation, but you need to have the contact with the firm. I mean, like if you have the contact with the firm there and they are available to give you the possibility to do the internship, absolutely, yes. We had people in the past that did their thesis, their internship in the Emirates, some others in Germany, some others in the Netherlands in the years. So potentially, yes. The only thing with the US is the working visa stuff that is a little bit tricky. F1, J1, so on. But yes, it is possible.
Okay, so I invite all the participants to write any questions down or to turn on the microphone.
Mm-hmm.
And while I do that, I just copy in the Zoom chat the deadline you spoke about, Elisa, which are a little bit boring but useful. So the pre-enrollment deadline is set on the 8th of October at 12:30. It is compulsory in order to register to the MIBS.
Mm-hmm.
The ranking list will be published starting on the 17th of October. And then you will have time to register to, how can I say, to enroll properly by the 29th of October. I also pasted the links, the website link and the link to the pre-enrollment and the mails, of course.
Yes, thank you. In the case you want to enroll and you are facing some difficulties, just write me. We can set up a Zoom meeting or a call together so that we can take a look together at the application form. So no problem.
Okay, so what do you think, Professor Ganzaroli? Can we end the open day?
Yeah, if there are no other questions, we can.
Okay, great. So as mentioned at the beginning of the open day, the recording of this will be made available on MIBS Master official website in the coming days. Once again, I would like to thank all the speakers and all of you for being here. I wish you a pleasant evening and thank you again.
Thank you very much for coming.
Thank you. Bye-bye.